Gain and the Red Crescent seem overwhelmed. No one knows what is going on at the site. There is no clear rescue plan. I
Okay, guys. I want to explain what setup that I got at this very point before I made this entry. If you are good in price action, I think you should be able to spot the setup that I saw. Okay, but if you've not done that, probably you are still learning price action. Let me take my time and explain to you guys the setup that I got in this very trade. Okay, so first of all, the first confluence that I got for this trade is trend line. Okay, trend line is the first confluence that I got for this trade. Now, having gotten my trend line, as you can see, the trend line acting as a support down here. Okay, here is the trend line. This very one acting as a support. You can see it at this very point down. Then I have the other trend line up here acting as resistance. But my consideration is on the trend line down acting as a support. Okay, so that's my consideration. So what we are in now is the fourth touch of the trend line. If you check very well, you see that the first touch was at this very point here, where my cross line is. That was where price made the first touch. So when price made the first touch at that very point, it came back again, make the second touch at this very point also. It went up, then it came back again, made another touch here, which is the third touch. It went up, returned back, it didn't get to the trend line. Okay, now here is the fourth touch. So when price made this fourth touch, I couldn't go in instantly, so I have to wait so that I can be able to get more confluence. That's number one confluence that we got for this trend now is the touch of the trend line. Okay, that's number one. Then secondly, the second confluence I got, if you check at the very point where the trend line met, where price met the trend line, at this very point where price met the trend line, if you check at that very point, you discover that we have a psychological level. Okay, the nearest psychological level at that very point. If you are good in calculating your psychological level, I think you should have be able to know the next psychological level nearest to this 1831. But if you're not good in calculating psychological level, I think it's one of the previous videos that I just dropped recently. Just check the recent video, you see how to calculate your psychological level. So the most recent psychological level that I have at that very point is 1830. That's the closest psychological level that I have at that very point. So if you haven't done that, so I have two confluence now. I have the touch of the trend line, and I also have the psychological level. So now, having these two confluences, I thought it wasn't enough still for me to go in for the trade. I think I need to see something. And what is that I need to see? I need to see that price is making some kind of series of rejection. Price is making some kind of bullish engulfing, showing that buyers are ready to come into the market. That buyers are now in the market. Okay, so that's another thing that I got on this trade. So if you check very well, you see that we'll have that bullish engulfing. You see this big move up. So that is the bullish engulfing. So if you're not good in candlestick patterns, I think you still have to learn candlestick patterns. If you are taking price action as your main strategy, I think you still have to learn candlestick patterns and chart patterns also. These two works in pari passu. So having said that, what else do I need? Nothing more. Okay, but for me, I still have other ways I can check for more confluence. Okay, so another way I can also check for confluence is to check my indicator window. So if you check my indicator window right at this very point, you will discover that here, this window that I'm drawing down here, if you check my indicator window, you discover that price, my indicator is at oversold. So I'm expecting a move up, but how far the move will go is what I don't know. Okay, I don't know how far the move will go, but I know there will be a move up. So that's why I anticipate before the next resistance. So these are the 4 confluence that I got for this trade before I make this entry. Okay, guys. I know some of you will be like, the trade is running down against you. Yeah, it should retrace the big bullish engulfing. That's what it's doing. It's a stop hunt, so you should retrace it before it now starts moving up. But if that is not the case, then we'll have our stop loss. Yeah, we'll have our stop loss. That's it. So there's nothing more you can do if not to follow up your rule, if not to follow your strategy, do the right thing the way it should be and how it should be. Okay, so if you check out my group where I drop the signal, I drop both the stop loss and the take profit. So the stop loss is at 1825, while the take profit is at 1850. So we are going for 1:2. Okay, so that's exactly how I plan this trade to be. So I'm expecting that the market on hitting the trend line or the psychological level will push back up. So I'm anticipating on this trade. So I just have to like explain it to us for us to understand how I make my entries and how I take my trades. So you don't need to be on the system from 9 to 5 while you are still trying to eliminate the some protocol of working from 9 to 5. So you just have to set up your system, and per time you comes up, check if your setup has occurred. If your setup haven't occurred, you continue doing some other things. You continue exercising patience and watching out. Okay, So guys, I'm not talking that this trade might not go wrong. No. But for my own trading strategy, for my own trading system, this is what I do, and this is how I plan the trade. Okay. So one more thing that we need to understand about trading, mostly volatility 25, is what I will explain to us, and probably at the end of this video. But for now, I will have us to watch and see how the candlesticks moves, watch and see how the market reacts once there is entries. Okay, so at this point I'm expecting a push up. Okay, back to our entry. That's what I'm expecting. But remember, you can expect what you think you expect, but then market has to act what it seems to act. So that's why whatever thing you are doing, you got to minimize your risk. It's a game of probability. You understand, guys? So it's a game of probability. So you got to make sure that you minimize your risk as minimum as possible that you can. Okay. So let's watch out and see how this trade plays out. If it goes to our favor, thank God. If it goes against us, then we are going home on losses. Okay. But I believe that it will go for our favor, but it's probability. So once more, make sure that you trade with money you can afford to lose. Don't go and trade with the money you cannot afford to lose. Anything can happen in the market and you might lose your money. This is the raw truth. Even the pro traders lose money. Okay, so that's all I can say for now. Let's watch and see how the market acts and what will be the outcome of the trade. Okay, guys, so talk to you soon, just in a moment. So having explained how I got the setup, I think what you got to do is to do the same analysis on your own chart. Okay, guys, you guys should do the same analysis on your own chart and try to see if what I'm saying is what you have in your chart, or if I'm saying a different thing, then you have a different thing in your chart. Okay, so I will open the comment section. Okay, if you want to say anything or you want to drop any comments, you can go ahead and drop your comments. Or if you want to ask any question, you can go ahead and ask your question. But for me, on my own aspect, I've analyzed the market and I've told you what I got and how I got my setup. So it's now left for you to check it out on your own aspect. I'm not imposing my own onto you because this is a free world. Everything we're doing in the market, nobody is perfect. So that my own might work out, it doesn't mean that it's 100%. So I told you guys that the next candle will be pushing up, and that's exactly what we saw. But still, it has not been qualified that the trade will go for us because we still have a long way to go. Yeah, that's me for you. That's how I trade. So just review the setup I just gave out now, the confidence that I just gave out now that gave me this setup. Just go review it and understand it. But if there's any place you don't understand, just drop your comments. Okay, you can just drop your comments. So let's see how the trade plays out, as I'm expecting you guys comment in the comment section. So I will just allow the trade to run a little, then I'll continue to explain more things about this trade and price action entirely. Okay, so before I leave you guys, the market we are in is in downtrend. Specifically, the market has been trending down for past couple of days now. From last week entering this week, volatility 25 has been in downtrend. The move started with an M pattern in the 4 hours. It started with an M pattern in 4 hours right up here. So, and we're anticipating that it will go down, probably to where the W pattern started from. But before then, I think we still have to be catching the reversal patterns. Okay, the retracement. So it's the retracement that we're expecting to catch the move. So that's why I don't set the take profit too far. So I just made it like 1:2. So we can get the retracement of that very downward move. So the market structure in 4 hours is in downtrend. It's quite obvious it's in downtrend. Okay, so having gotten to this very first resistance turn to support, I'm anticipating that we'll have a kind of retracement before the market will continue the downtrend. So that's why I made this entry with this confluence that I got, which I've explained to us previously. So whatever thing is the outcome, we all gonna see it. Yeah, I know some people will be like, why trading against the trend? Yeah, I trade against the trend because I saw my setup. So even though the trend is in downtrend, there should be some retracement. The market doesn't go in one direction. Even though it's a downtrend, doesn't mean that it just continue going down, 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 down. No, it doesn't work that way. There will be some retracement, so you can catch those retracements with a tightened stop loss, knowing that you are trading against the trend. So I know that probably most of you have learned or hear, don't trade against the trend. Don't trade against the trend. It's like catching a falling knife. Yeah, they told you the truth, and that is the truth. But here, I've explained to you why I made this entry. And another thing you need to understand is that the market doesn't go in one direction. There is strict movement and there is retracement movement. Okay, trend direction movement and retracement movement. So when you study the market and know more about trading, you should be able to understand to this level. Okay, guys. So now, when you are making this kind of trade, one thing you must make sure you do is this, guys. Make sure that you don't aim too high. Make sure you don't aim too high. Whatever you are trading against the trend, don't aim too high. Then let your stop loss be tightened. Do not expose your back end too wide. Okay, don't expose your back end too wide. Though you risk according to your equity, probably according to your capital. So that is a tip that I just want to give to us about this very trade which we are in. So I've already explained the setup, how I got the setup. I've already explained it to us, the four confluences that I got, the trend line, the psychological level, the chart pattern, candlestick pattern, and the indicator window confirmation. And also remember, I told us that it's not 100% guarantee. So the 1% that is moved out of it, or the 2% that's moved out of it, is what makes it a game of probability. So whatever you are doing, make sure that you have it in mind that this is a game of probability. So guys, if you are making sense, guys, if I'm making sense or you are learning something from this explanation I'm giving or the ideas I'm giving, please help me and just click the like button. It doesn't cost. Okay, so that others can get notified that we have something ongoing online. Okay, guys. So that's just it. So there's this other thing I need to let us know about volatilities, probably boom and crash, and other pairs that will trade on binary. Why most professional traders don't trade binary, that's indexes, to be precise, doesn't mean that they can't trade it or they are not good with what they do. But the tip is this: volatilities mostly is being controlled by the brokers, and there are a lot of manipulations. There are a lot of manipulations. So my advice is this: I'm not telling you to stay away from it or to be scared of it. Whenever you have a setup, number one, make sure that you don't get greedy when you are in profit. Make sure you don't get greedy when you are in profit. Secondly, do not enter the trade without a setup. Thirdly, when the trade is going against you, make sure you cut your losses. This has dealt with me personally in several occasions. I must tell you the truth. Make sure you cut your losses. Better you cut a loss and still have your capital to come back again than to allow the market to just move and finish up your account. Though most times it might be caused by maybe your device, your network, or some other things. So what I've learned recently is no matter how good you are, no matter how probably the percentage of your setup, how sure you are that the setup will play out, make sure that you predetermine your exits even before you make entries. Predetermine your exits and exits. Set the stop loss. Probably there might be a time there will be a high volatility in the market and you'll be trying to cut up losses. Probably the device or network will hang you up and such. Your account might get blown or you might lose more than what you estimated to lose. So let's make sure that whenever that we are entering the market, enter it with caution, knowing that this is someone's business and them also want to make profit. The brokers want to make profit. Actually, they make more profit when you lose. It doesn't mean that they don't make profit when you win, but when you lose, they make more profit. So I'll be leaving us here now for now, guys. Let me take some glass of water and we'll come back to the chat and I'll give us more hints and more hints. So let's just stay tuned until I'm back in just a couple of minutes. Okay. Emma say thank you for the lesson. You're welcome, bro. You're welcome. I regard you. You're welcome. Yeah, learning doesn't end. We'll keep learning each and every day. Okay. So I hope that those of us that enter the trade will see how it is going. So if we end up in losses, it's not the fault of the signal giver. It's because the setup failed. So for you not to be much emotional, you just have to minimize your risk. Okay. Because you're not gonna put the blame on me because I gave you a signal. The blame is gonna be on you because you wanna make the whole money in a single trade. Okay. Now, what if you are the one that dropped the signal for yourself? You saw it and you entered it and it goes against you. Are you gonna kill yourself? No. And the worst thing you can do for yourself is to put the blames on yourself. You just put the blame aside and work to improve what you do. So I know so many of us have so many questions that you want to ask me. I'll make time for that, but just give me a couple of minutes. Let me take water and come back. We'll continue with the explanation. So if you missed the sections where I explained the setup, how we got into the trade and all that, you can still preview back and get the explanation. The four confluences that I got before I made the entries, why I made the entries, I've explained a lot of things. Okay, guys. So I will come back to that. Okay, Remy says, why don't you trade currency? Remy, I trade currency mostly personally, okay? But on my VIP group, I do drop it for them. But the currency I trade, Remy, is GPB USD only. GPB USD only. Why? Because I don't try to jack or trade. That's me personally. I don't try to jack or trade. There are people that can jack or trade and it works for them. But for me, I don't jack or trade. So I trade GPB USD only. But what I'll do recently is that I'll try to be dropping signals for currency for both free group and the premium group. So whenever I have a state up on currency, I think I'll have to share it both the VIP group and the general group. So I'll do that. I trade currency and I love currency so much. Actually, I started my trading with currency. Okay, I started my trading with currency. That was where I learned everything about trading. Okay. So what attracted me to volatility was actually the weekend trade of Saturdays. Okay. But looking at it now, I'm even tired of the weekend trade because now I have now I have some other things I need to use the weekend to work on. So that's it, guys. So I'll be back in just a few minutes. Okay, guys. Let's see how this our trade plays out. We are praying that it will go to our favor. And I will also anticipating that it might go against us. So there's this songwriter that says, we are hoping for the best, expecting the worst. So that is trading for you. You just have to develop that mindset, hoping for the best and expecting the worst. Yeah, are you gonna throw the bomb or not? See you guys. Just a minute. Let me take some water and I'll be back. Okay, guys. I'm back. Sorry for the few minutes I took. So I think I'll be leaving us here, guys. I've got some other things I want to work on. I'm leaving us here. Then whatever is the outcome of the thread, I will still have to upload it and do some other explanations to us. Okay, guys. Okay, Franco, I see you. I see you, bro. You're welcome. You're welcome, bro. So you guys just like monitor your trade and okay, let me just drop this for you guys that are online here. I think it will be a kind of a little bonus. Now look at the tip I want to give to us on this current trade that is running. And normally how I do my trade. Let's assume that this trade moves on, it gets to this blue line. This blue line is just 45 EMA, but it's not necessary, sha. But you can just mark out this point of let me bring up this. You can just mark out this point of 1843 level. So if this trade runs to this 1843 level, I'll urge us to set up our stop loss to break even. If not actually break even, we can still move it a little bit to the profit zone. Okay, if it happens to be that it moved from our entry, here it is now, to this 1843. So I would like us to move our stop loss from our 1825 down to break even or a little bit above our entry. Then watch it to our take profit. So I'm just like giving us hints. If it goes for our favor, remember it's a game of probability. Even though we are in profit, can reverse back against us and hit our stop loss. That is the bucket for you. Okay, so those of you that did not join us earlier, I think you can rewatch and know how we got the setup and how you can do it yourself. Okay, guys. So at this point, guys, I will closing off. Okay, and I'll have to update us later in the day when the trade must have finished running. Thank you guys for coming up online. Thank you guys for joining me on this live trade. So see you guys when we'll see next. Okay, guys. Thank you. Away, away. Okay. Okay, guys. Rena, let me just answer this quickly before I go out. Rena, I have a video where I explain how to draw trend line. Okay. Normally, I place my trend line in between the body, and in between the body of the candle and the shadow, in between the body and the shadow. For instance, watch this at the middle here, in between the body and the shadow. That's where I place my trend line. The first touch, the second touch, in between the body and the shadow of the candle. That's where I place my trend line. Okay, guys. So that's it, guys. So see you guys later.